Let's go. It's the underground. Back now. Good evening. Thank you, Descendant, for that. Thank you, Steely. Thank you, Skeepy, for the super chats right at the gate. Let's get the mic check in. Want to make sure that everything's good before we take off. It looks like Restream has redone their whole interface. E-Fits, Older Bones. Thank you. Apocalypse Academy. Love Mama. Thank all of you. Much love. Thank you to Hoodie Ross, Tooge, D. White, everyone out there that shares the stream. It's appreciated to the fullest. Good to see you, Mark. Walk with God. Counting the days. Who cares? TFJ from the Ville. Everybody, man. I thank you for the feedback. I seen somebody saying it was acting glitchy, but when I got a majority of you saying it's good, that's what I go with. Thank you, mods, for holding it down during the stream. Much love to all the purebloods out there. If you got anything you want to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. You can also at me in the chat to get my attention. I thank you for sharing. It is caring. I thank you for the prayers, super chats, PayPals, coffees, all the support appreciated to the fullest. And we've got a lot to cover as always here. I see you, Dallas, Texas. Let me check one thing real quick. The feeds over here. Again, I've got a different kind of interface over here with Restream. They redid everything. So I'm just making sure everything is lined up, looking good. All right. Looks good there. Thank you, Frank. Love, peace, and hope. You got that right. Thank you. God bless. All right, we're going to get the show going here. We're going to start off in space. That was a shot there of the blood moon. I want to thank folks that sent in some of their images. I know it was a hard one to get. I was in a really good position, but just cloud cover. So my area missed another one because of the cloud cover. I know some folks had clear skies, but they didn't have a good position. Some people did have a good position, clear skies, and we got some decent shots out there. You can see here off this, it shows I hadn't seen an updated hotspot image of the moon, but I wanted to show this one. It shows that there's warmer hotspots across the moon that people don't really realize. They're there. There's a lot going on with that moon. I look to lock in on it here soon with the telescope, do some live streams, and kind of change some things. When I do it, I'll probably dedicate a stream per month, at least one or two, especially around the full moon. Whatever clear nights we got, because you're probably not going to get every night clear. So you've got 3 or 4 good nights around the full moon to capture all the stuff going on there. So we've also got a little bit of sunspot activity going on, nothing major. 4378 now facing us, and we've got a couple more in the upper band coming around our way. As it says here, March is number 1 for auroras. So to have auroras, you need CMEs, explosions off the sun. This is the one thing that I don't get about all the ones out there that say it's flat and the moon and the sun are local. Like, I'm all ears for all things at all times, always have been, but I like to back it with some facts and not just guessing at all this stuff. So when it comes to that, I always think when the sun lets off a CME and it takes multiple days to get here and we can track it and all this, that's not local. It's not inside of a bubble. It's not here. If the sun was local and it lit off a CME, it'd fry everything in here. If it was local, also, how would you get shadows onto the moon like we just witnessed with the blood moon? All these are the things, man, come to mind that just get shot down off of the normal stuff we see here. So if you witness this, well, you got lucky, man. I did see an eclipse here, the main one here, past a year or so that took place during the daytime right over America. Got lucky. The clouds broke open and we were in the middle of working and looked up. There it was. There was the eclipse right above. I got to witness the eclipse 7 years apart, which is a very rare thing. The very first one, I drove down into Kentucky to catch the full thing, and when I did, I caught some object up in subspace on the film. It was like a white object, wasn't flashing or nothing. It was just like a white object, and it was zipping by super fast, way up there, and you could really only see it because of the eclipse. It's like it shadowed everything out just enough to be able to see this thing. You never know what you're going to catch. If you capture anything odd, let me know. Love to take a look at it. if you send me something, please send me some detail as well. Like, let me know where it's from, what you're looking at, time of day, all that kind of stuff helps, especially if I'm going to cover it. I have to put some information out there on it. And I do appreciate all the clips you guys send in. Let's go down to Austin, Texas. The mass shooting that took place down there. And, man, an unfortunate event, obviously. A third person has died following this. The latest victim was Jorge Munoz Peterson. He's actually an MMA fighter out of Minnesota. He just moved to Texas a few weeks ago for a new job and a fresh start. R.I.P., my brother. Just ridiculous to have to see innocent lives being taken left and right. And it doesn't matter at this point. There's so many devils in here. If they want to kill someone, they're going to kill them with a rock. It doesn't matter. Can't let them come in and say, oh, got to take your guns now. And this, no. Actually, I'd rather be in a place loaded with people with guns because it's safer, in my opinion. When an idiot wants to act out, you got all the rest of the crowd that'll put them down. And it keeps it really honest, let me tell you. And you don't see those type of events in areas like that at all. I mean, when you have before, those are the places and the times that you hear of an armed citizen put the shooter down. So again, RIP, man. They're trying to equate some of these attacks to terror. I think you're going to see more of that. We've warned you about it. I think you're going to see more and more now that we're on a two-front war, so to speak. It really looks that way because we're at war with the cartel now. Any blowback, we've got to be head on swivel. Seriously, it's going down now with the cartels. It's no joke. It's kicked into gear. Then you've got everything, not just with Mexico cartels, but even going back to Venezuela, Tren de Aragua, all the gangs and everything that was coming out of there. Now, the whole thing with Iran, you've got Muslims that are pissed off because you just killed one of their religious leaders and they're vowing jihad. This isn't going to go well. Let me tell you. Hey, thank you, someone, for those coffees. I appreciate that. And Ron Morgan, much love. God bless. Thank you for the coffees as well. Look, when these guys are wearing like jihad on the t-shirt and they're carrying a sword down the street and all this other stuff, like, you better watch out because this ain't no joke. And that's not peace. That's not assimilating. I don't want that here. I don't want you want violence. People now want violence. People that are violent here all of a sudden. It's funny because the Christian faith, by all accounts, it's not calling for you to go out and do all these crazy things. It's a loving, peaceful type of religion. Yet some of these other religions call upon violence in many different ways. And how dare any of them try to look at us, the Christians, and say we're the bad guys, we're the violent ones, when they've got it embedded into the religious ways. When we go to the Talmud, when we start cherry picking there about what they do to the Goyim, to average people, smashing their... I'll save you the gore. I think you already know. Okay, so that's pretty crazy, isn't it? That they've got that in their religious books by faith? How can any one of them or anyone turn to us and say that we're the violent ones? Yet they do and they will. They'll try right-wing extremists and all this other. They'll put you in any little terrorist category they can. Domestic extremist going to be the big one used from here on out. You watch. Crown jewels in the house. Much love, my brother. Off to the next one. Got a lot to cover here. We got a recall 37 million pounds of fried rice, ramen, and dumpling products may contain glass. Glass. Yeah. How does glass get into all this stuff? I told you before, I'm at a point to where I think someone's like the janitor's going by and pitching his everything in his that he just swept up into the food or something. It doesn't make any sense here. Like somebody's got to be doing this on purpose at this level. It was wood chips and salmonella, metals left and right. Every situation's different, but glass. When you start getting the glass that has no reason whatsoever to be in the food product, Trader Joe's, Kroger's. That's right, Trader Joe's, Kroger's, and other big stores like Costco's, they're impacted by this. So it's the Trader Joe's chicken fried rice. By name, you can see right there. It says now this includes 33 million. There's their signature. So they did it. More pounds of product, including Trader Joe's and Kroger brand items that may be contaminated with glass. They say the original recall included 3.4 million pounds of frozen chicken fried rice, all from Trader Joe's. I don't have one near me. I don't shop there. I'm sure some of you do and may have some of this stuff. So chicken fried rice, you can see right here, the vegetable fried rice, Japan style fried rice, and chicken shui mai. There you go, man. I put these things out just in case. Just in case. You might have it sitting in there, and you might have it sitting there steaming, ready to eat it right as you're listening. Hopefully, no one's consuming that. But over 650,000 bottles of water recalled. This is after it's been packaged in insanitary conditions. So the FDA saying this, a Wisconsin-based Valley Springs recalling 6 of its products. They were bottled under insanitary conditions. 650,000 bottles initiated February 6th. This is a Class 2 recall. The instance when use or exposure to a product may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences. Seems like they're keeping some information back there. Like a lot on what really threw the flag. Because I wonder what chemicals in it. Was it left out in the sun? Anything like that. But it's left and right. So Valley Springs, 1 gallon. Valley Springs, 2.5 gallon. A lot of it's all Valley Springs. Valley Springs, 1 gallon infant water. Daisy's dog water. Is that a real name? Are you kidding me? Natural bottled water, stream distilled water. Is the Daisy's dog water a real thing? Well, I guess it's got to be. That's pretty crazy. Anyhow, it's all recalled. That's just odd to me. I'd never heard. I got a daughter named Daisy, and I never heard the term dog water till it came out of her mouth one day, and I was like, "What?" And that just all kind of brought that back. That was weird. So let's go to the markets. The Dow. When all this broke loose, it dropped like 1,000 points. It actually 1,200 points earlier in the day yesterday. So it was a pretty steep fall off. Everything responding to what's happening out there. And it pulled back to 403 around closing time. So it was a big up and down, like yo-yo, that took place there, and it's going to happen. Let me go pull up the metals and let's see where we're at. Okay, so 86, 80, 83, 84. We got to 87, and it looks like we're flatlining around 85, like right where we're at here. Even though we killed Khomeini, I'm not so sure the biggest strikes of the war are over. I do feel there's going to be more big headlines from here, and that's going to cause gold to run harder. I think gold goes up as long as we're in Iran at some point here. We go up, we break 55, we set new high, and we keep on trucking. They mentioned today that this could go on for 2 more months with Iran, for sure, in a war climate. I mean, gold's done nothing but go uphill anyway, like for years, regardless of the war. It has its pullbacks. It has areas where it levels out. Silver is the one we're watching. Don't forget, man, we're below 100. This is where everyone kind of loses sight, and like they meander off in another direction, and they forget the whole thing with silver and the whole plan. And it stack you up 100 ounces below 100, below $100 if you can. And then when this thing runs up to $1,000 in the future, you'll 10x that whole investment. This last time it took around 10 years or so, whatever. I think it's going to take less this time, to be honest with you. Still looking at 10 years, but that's not bad. A 10x in 10 years. Silver and gold, if you're in the right place, you don't get taxed on it as well. So that's huge, man. All right, on to Facebook and some outages. There's been a lot of outages here past year or so. They've been like testing. You can kind of feel it. We're waiting on the banks now. If you missed it, Jamie Dimon came out and put out a warning. I dropped a video on it. He said straight up, he goes, expect after the Iran war specifically that the banks get cyber attacked. He said it. He said it flat out. That's why I put the video clips out there so people can hear from a horse's mouth. It's not just me saying, get ready, get ready. No, he said it. He flat out said it. We're going to get cyber attacked. Now, you remember everything I've told you, all these streams, all these years up to this point about this event. It's about to actually happen. It's going to go down. It's going to be holding money for ransom in the banks. It's all it's designed to do. And to get you to go to a digital currency, to the digital wallet that they've got sitting there waiting. So we know it. We know the trap. The thing is a majority of the crowd's going to do this. Like, we haven't reached enough people. A majority of the crowd is going to do this. When they do, that's all that matters. When they get the majority of the citizenship out here onto a new system, then basically they can start to penalize and go after all the other people that don't participate. And then they're just going to take away your money anyway. They're going to stop printing physically because it costs too much. We're already there. That's the excuse with pennies, nickels, and dimes. And it's all gone. And even though it's still there out in existence, a lot of places started taking it back. And when they made this whole thing about the pennies and talk of the nickels, places started rounding everything up 5 cents, like real quick, especially around here. We noticed it. It's like, wow, they weren't missing it for a second. If they're going to take away the dimes next, and you can guarantee they're rounding it up to the next dime. It's going to continue that way. When there's nothing but quarters out there left, and that too goes. I believe that the switchover is going to happen before we got to go through that whole process. I think that switchover is going to happen, and then it's just going to be like an outdated thing. They're going to let people keep it for a second. They're not gonna like put up a fight with you over it, but they're gonna quit making it. You see, at some point, people have to stand up, or you're gonna get boxed into a prison. And for everyone out there that's wanting to take the easy way out, like easy way out equals the prison. That's why I'm having a hard time believing that a lot of people out here are not going to take the mark of the beast. Because even though there's people out there that say they're purebloods and everything else, we haven't even faced the real deal yet. Like at gunpoint in all this lockdowns, like the real deal stuff, like that's. And then if you want to brag that you're a pureblooded to get you killed, who's going to be bragging then? There's some cold realities coming. Human race is going to get picked off here. They don't like us. I want you to remember, though, that we are the chosen ones. Never forget that. How many demons pop up, fallen aliens, whatever that they want to bring on the scene? You always remember that God, it's right there in your Bible, He made us as the powerful ones. We have power over them. This is largely why I believe they stay hidden. There's rules to the game, right? They came down here, they broke the rules, obviously, and they're locked here with us. But like we were made and given power over them, and Lucifer did not like this from Jump Street. He kicked Adam when God set him out to dry, when He made him out of clay, and God said right there, "You'll bow down to this." And Lucifer was pissed because Lucifer said, "I'm superior. I'm made of fire, not clay." You see how his arrogance worked? And God said, "Oh no, you don't. Man has domain over you." Oh yes, he does. And you'll bow down to him. Oh, and he hates it. It's a very tricky game here. That's why I believe that when they're going to play their alien card hand here, they're going to have to do it one way. They're going to have to present them as being good, the good guys, and that we're the bad guys. How else are you going to get us to drop all of our weapons? Because if bad guys come in here blazing, that just ain't going to work. Everybody here is already used to just picking up a gun and shooting back. Everybody's warring. The way that you get all of our weapons is to say that we're the bad guys. We're the hostile ones. If you want to break off into space and civilization and get to know all these other life forms, like you have got to prove yourself as what's going to be put upon us. And see, it's going to be a double-edged sword. Because it's going to be lies, ticker tape with truths. And you should always have a self-defense, always have a defensive mechanism, always be able to defend yourself. Jesus said, sell your cloak and get a sword. Not sit around the fire singing Kumbaya at this time. He said, sell your cloak and get a sword. He returns with the sword. I don't know what some of these people are thinking out there. They just make up whatever they want at the end times. Like, the big dog returns, King of Kings. He touches down Mount of Olives. He splits it in two. It's the greatest earthquake the world's ever seen. That's what's written. That's what's to come. And I can't wait. So, Israel and Iran, I'm going to get to that here in a minute. They can pound each other out all day long, and Iran may slip some through on Israel, but nothing is going to do the damage as the higher power is going to do when it touches down here. It's written, man. People, you stop and you think about that. It's going to be super destructive. Jesus said not one stone would be left unturned. I got a piece at the end. I was going to fit it into the title, but I didn't have room. For Armageddon, we're going to talk about that here at the end. I put a video out on it. We're gonna jump into that. Thomas, thank you. Dog water. Yeah. Much love, man. Much love to everybody out there. I hope you're doing good tonight. Thank you for joining. Please share, hit the like button. It helps. We're crapped on by the AI and the algorithm. I'm going to get a refresh real quick. Much love to everybody out there on Rumble, on X, listening in as well. YouTube was dropping a restream bot for comments. So hopefully if any comments on X, I see them. I see them from Rumble, but I've never seen one now that I think about it from X. And when we are live over there, so. All right, so this outage at Facebook, the newest of many. I don't know if you had a problem. Let me know in the comments if you did. We've seen a lot of places getting hit here recently. AWS, big time. They did bomb a site, a data center over in the Middle East, and it does have a cascading effect to other places that's connected to it, all over, depending on what's connected to it. If that starts to happen here, well, I don't know how to think about that. I don't know what to think about that, because what is the data center doing? What I can tell you it's doing is it's going in and it's sucking up all the resources in all these cities where people don't want one. Let's start right there. All the water, like insane amounts of water. I seen some engineer in a video saying, dude, this thing's gonna take billions and billions. It was out of Arizona. He was talking about they were flipping out. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Like, and then the electricity that it's gonna take, the power. And then Trump wants to come out and say that all the American people are not gonna pay for this, that he's gonna put a cap on this or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. But Trump is already proven that he can talk a lot of hot air. And then once he's out of here and another president's in, you just better watch out. You don't think the next Democrat's not going to come in here and undo every single thing that they can that he put in? Oh, yeah. And use actually the executive orders he put on the books against his own people. Gavin Newsom, whoever it's going to be, they're going to love it. They're going to love it, and they're probably going to say it. They're even going to rub it in. Like, look, we're using the executive order that Trump put in place. Blah, blah, blah. And we're going to use it against the right now. And MAGA will be quickly labeled domestic terrorists, just like Antifa was and all these other groups. And nobody argued. Nobody countered it. Nobody said anything against it. Nobody came to their defense on the left. So, since it sat there in the books, it'll be used. You watch, dude. This whole thing is a ruse. Can't you see what Gray State was trying to warn you about? Can't you see why they let a guy in a mask in here for 4 years? And they just didn't just have Trump do back-to-back years? Because they had to have someone to blame that all on. All the migrants to come in here. Why they have to even have the migrants come in here? Because they have to have strike teams rounding people up. Why do they have to have strike teams rounding people up? Because the end game is lockdowns, a deadly one. And these strike teams are getting their practice in real time in front of your face. Beta test. Just like they beta test locking you down and everything else. And they war game this. For thus far, 5 years enrolling. And this whole thing is to prepare for the big event, the real lockdowns. They don't care about migrants. Migrants was deployed to get these cats in here. They don't care about none of you, none of us. Duh. Hello, wake up. You actually think these tyrants care about any of us? Get out of here. Of course, everyone's getting used. And man, we're sold out. We're sold out here, man. We're sold out, and that's the problem in America. We're done. I hope you have a plan at this point. Kind of switching gears. I'm all for like rallying the troops and a big meetup. I've told you this a million times. I've been willing to go out and put my life on the line for it, but like nobody's willing to do so. So everyone better just have their own plan. Just to survive and ride this out. And we got some interesting times ahead. We got transformative phases we're living through right now that are pretty wild. I mean, for some of us that live like that were born before the internet was out and cell phones were out, and all that, and you grew up into an era where all this technology boomed all the way into AI is going to replace us. You've lived through the whole window, the whole thing. It gets scary. I got a couple AI updates here in a second. I wanted to point this out though, out of California. California wants to add a wealth tax, right? It's running people out. Florida wants to remove one. Much slower than people out there left and right. My people that are in there, but I wish you luck. When I watch the world's biggest flee out of California and they don't even put up a fight, I don't see how anyone's there. How do you really, honestly, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? Huh? Maybe some white knights are going to come save the day. I mean, that's ridiculous. The closest thing, you just had billionaires there and they left, is what I'm saying. I'm saying this like straight up. Like, if we want to win the state, we want to take it back. How's it going to be done? I don't even know if it can be done at this point. When the richest men in the world gave up on it, what does that tell you? How are just everyday people going to do anything when it's falling apart in shambles? The people don't rise. They won't come together for nothing. So don't give me that. Like, where's the hope? What's the plan? Nobody has a plan for nothing. I pitch all these ideas and plans out there all the time, but it's like nobody wants to take them serious nowhere. Like, no one is ready to rally the troops. Like, I'm not going into California unless I have to, but I will. It's like enemy territory big time. But like, again, but for what? But for what? Like, somebody got a plan? I don't think so. That's why everyone's leaving there. So Texas, Florida, they're seeing the influx of people leave those places. And I don't think that you shouldn't have to worry about, like, if you're leaving California, if you live somewhere and you're leaving there, you shouldn't have to worry about them trying to chase you down in whatever state you could do, wanting more money from you. That's what California is doing. That's tyrannical, man. Tyrannical. Yeah, these billionaires and even millionaires maybe could throw some money at it and, get it off their back, but the average Joe doesn't have the dough to do that. California, man, crazy. Got some doorbell footage here out of Austin, Texas, from the shooter. And look, you can see property of Allah he had on the front as he was taking off, I guess, with his weapon under the jacket there. I don't know if he had a weapon under the jacket there or not, but so this was just footage. We didn't have any other footage of him. But he is holding that jacket. Interesting. How when they got there, they went right after that cam. Hmm. Just wanted to share that. Um, this kind of goes with what I was just saying about California, but this is like the whole industry of Hollywood. Celebrities fleeing, not just out of California, but like they're fleeing the entire United States. Now, why would that be? Hmm? Why would that be? My honest take on it is I've never seen so many people get so scared and run in my life until this Epstein stuff came up. Never. I've never seen so many people, especially Hollywood elite. I just seen clips with Leonardo DiCaprio wearing masks and all this other stuff, hiding himself out in public because he has been mentioned in the Epstein files, as I said before, in a file that talks about 22 pounds of flesh. Like a bunch of people. And this is what's crazy is your government knows about this. None of these people are getting arrested. Like your government is full of the most wicked people. Everybody around here knows it at this point. No one's got the kahunas to do anything about it. That's it. That's the elephant in the room. No one's got the kahunas to do anything about it. So they bootleg. They bowed out. They brown nose out. That's all the government's full of brown nosers and backstabbers. That's how they like them. That way, one person will snitch out the next and the next and the next, and they want them all snitching on each other. That's how they operate. Brown nosers, backstabbers. So they fill the ranks and they blackmail everybody along the way. Okay, so yeah, I'm good with that. I don't want none of that. Nothing to do with none of that. There ain't nothing righteous that I see in this government. There's not a righteous body in there. A governmental body. If there was, they'd assassinate everybody in there, and you know it. So no one's got the kahunas again to stand up against the beast. That's why we're in this situation. A lot of people took an oath that they were going to defend this place against it. And look around you. Do I have to say anything? I mean, look around you. Do you see anybody defending anything? Do you see anybody doing anything? I didn't think so. You see nothing happening. All the criminals are fleeing. Like Trump was supposed to be the guy to get in there and arrest everybody, right? But like he's in there and like, I don't know, again, everybody's fleeing. Half these characters don't even look like they used to be, like the whole Jim Carrey thing, Ghislaine Maxwell. It's like, where is the real person? Will the real Ghislaine please stand up? Like, so they're running. Why would they run out of the country? I think it's they're fleeing persecution, potential persecution. Hollywood has never been wrecked like this that I've ever seen. This hardcore. They got them, man. They got a bunch of them here. I mean, look at the list here. Some that have fled already. Ellen, her whole set on her stage of her show. What it looked like. What was it modeled after? The colors and all. Epstein Island. Yep. Sure was. Let's go look it up. His little building there, the blue and white, whatever, and all that. Yeah. It's modeled after that to a T. So, like Ellen, you wonder why she ran. Rosie, like James Cameron, Eva Longoria, Kristen Stewart, Minnie Driver, Courtney Love. I mean, come on, Courtney. I think of the whole Kurt Cobain thing right there. They're all running. They're all running. On the AI. If the AI is going to be the brain of the beast, what does that tell you? if they just struck a data center with drones and it like wiped out like what it can do, what does that tell you? It means that in war, I would see these being prime targets. So think about that. If you're in a city that's got one of these data centers going up, that's another thing you got to worry about. Not only is it taking your electricity bill up through the roof, snatching up all the resources, and then bringing in AI, not even bringing jobs for anybody, but it becomes a target, a big target. If the world knows that there's this monstrous beast AI, okay, malevolent entity that's taken over everything, and it's nuking places, it's laser beaming people from space. It's out of control. It's like eliminating mankind. Like, how do you stop it? You would have to eliminate the data center. Don't you ever forget it. It's like the Dark Crystal. For real. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. But this is why Trump said, he said every single place has to have its own power plant. Coal, nuclear, they didn't care. And it's going to be protected by gun turrets and everything else. If you missed it, this is what they are saying. They are protecting these places tooth and nail already here in the U.S. Why? Going to have its own power plant, going to have gun turrets? What is so special about that place? I just told you all. It's the brain of the beast. Teach your children this. And may be the only ones that rise to do anything. Because this generation sure as hell ain't doing nothing. You just remember where this is going, what we're up against, and when they're getting hunted. To me, it just seems everybody's just lax, right? And nobody cares. It's pretty, I don't know. Everything that I do, for the ones I love. And I see people out there so self-centered. Not taking this serious. What I mean by that is like, you're not even caring about the future of your children or your grandchildren. Like what they're walking into. They need to be educated on this. They need to see clearly what they're up against. Or they're not going to stand a chance. And when they're locked down cold and we're dead and gone, and they're trying to escape this beast matrix that they're all locked in, I'm telling you, these data centers are the Achilles heel. Clip it, save it, feed it to some legendary dude in the future that'll actually do something. Because if nobody does nothing, this place is just going to get... There's nowhere to run, though. Like, you got to pick your poison. You got to pick where you going. Where you going to go now? Nobody go down Costa Rica, go down Mexico. Oh, really? You get down there by kidnapping everybody in every country and cutting heads off. And, like, you can't go anywhere at this point. Like, everywhere is war-torn. Really bothers me. Not just because you can't... Like, you should have a right to go there and live peacefully. Any of these places, vacation there. But like, I want to go and explore the planet, the ancient stuff. And it just seems that most of the most ancient places are in a war zone. BT, thank you. You can add Mexico to that. Been trying for years to get down to Mexico. If I could actually do what I want to do and get down there and like document what we've discovered, it'd blow your mind. It would blow your mind. And that's what I'd rather do at this point. I'm down for exposing some of the legendary stuff. Let's find a giant. Let's show it to the world. Let's find something ancient. We've got LiDAR. We've got technology. It's here. Screw it. Somebody's got to do it. What are they gonna do? Kill me? He taking my soul. See, things change when you don't fear death. So, Venge, thank you. Samson option. Yeah, well, I don't think Iron Domes or even Golden Domes, as Trump is trying to promise, is going to protect anyone or anything when no one can stop a hypersonic missile. Hypersonic missiles are like lightning. We'll get to that here in a minute. This though is interesting. Let's get into Epstein for a second. Pam Bondi, Blondie, subpoenaed in the Epstein investigation by the House Oversight Panel. And you bet you she's going to lie through her teeth. She is best buds and pals with all the Mossad. She's in all the pictures with all these people that are connected in. She has ran cover on this whole thing. And if people were bitching loud enough, she'd be gone. But I don't know, MAGA's like falling apart, but the people got to say something. So the Oversight Committee voted 24-19 to subpoena her for deposition. So they're going to get her in there and they're going to be like, they're going to try to catch her in some lies. You know, they're going to ask her a series of different things, as they always do in different ways. But this all goes back to her saying she had all these files on her desk. And then up to this point, they were supposed to release a certain amount, like 3 million here recently, and they were even short on doing that. So they want answers, although it's all a big puppet show here. What does any of these depositions do? Any of it do when no one goes to jail? Is my big question. Someone out here that's committing crimes at these high levels needs to pay for it.
I just want to recognize Representative Mace's courage first in standing up for the disclosure of the Epstein files so we don't protect pedophiles. And now she's saying the same thing. Let's not protect people who sexually harass in the United States Congress. And she's saying, and she's saying, let's have Pam Bondi tell us why half the files are still hidden. I don't understand how anyone on this committee can't vote yes on both of those motions. It's about transparency. It has nothing to do with being a Democrat or a Republican. It's about going after predators and people who are sexually harassing, and that's what the American people expect, and I appreciate Representative Mace's commitment to that transparency.
Chair recognizes.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna.
Okay, so I want to see when this happens, when she goes in for deposition, we'll get the video and I'll show it just like I showed the Clinton depositions and all the depositions, unless they want to try to make them silent, which none of them should be. They should all go out into the public. That's why they're done. Man, there's corruption out there big time. Look at this. The feds told New Mexico, the state, to back off of Epstein, saying, we got this. Like, move over, we got this. Like, the feds reign supreme on everything or something. That's garbage. Why? That's not how this was ever supposed to be. This was supposed to be United States, where all the states held the power. And there was a small little bitty government, federal government, that just was there as the glue to keep it all held together. Not to go tyrannical and to do everything that you see today. This is not how it was ever meant to be ran. But wicked men kill other men and slide into position, and they continue this over and over. And when they form clubs and secret societies, and they do this and they get to the top, well, once they're at the top, they're at the top. There's not a whole lot of opposition left. They're going around right now mopping up the last bit of opposition to the club globally. And what you just saw with the Ayatollah Khomeini was the end of that. You know why there was a list with all them places? Because there was no Rothschild bank in them. And ended with Iran. Why was Russia and China not on there? Because they already succumbed. They already fell to the beast a long time ago. And we already knew this. Russia, Bolshevik Revolution, Mao for China. And even Xi Jinping was very good friends with Henry Kissinger before he died. He was like one of his proteges. Let that sink in. Okay, you're all getting played. Getting played. Russia, China, the US all lock down all the people with the same gimmick. All right, don't fall back asleep. Yeah, they're going to sit out here and say that Russia did this, China did that, and they're going to play out world wars. That's how it's done, and people are going to die. But the leadership's in bed together. Don't you ever forget it. The only leadership that's not, they kill. Like Gaddafi, R.I.P. Like you just seen them do with the Ayatollah. And they're going to dog and talk crap about all of them, as they always do. But, I don't know who can wage war with the beast, as it's written. I'm pretty convinced at this point when there's no righteous man anywhere. Let's just start there. Who can wage war with the beast? Who? Last chance that I saw this planet had was like behind Gaddafi, to be honest with you. He ran all of Africa, pretty much, as the kingpin of it, was going to make a gold-backed dinar for it. Did so much for his people, and you know it. And if you don't know it, you have homework to do and research to do, and you've been badly manipulated and lied to, like you have about everything else. You know what Ghislaine Maxwell's father and sisters specialize in? Creating the history books in your schools. Let that sink in. All the history you think you know, the pedos put there. I ain't joking. This whole thing's been a sham, ran by devils. And still, no one. See, this is the craziest part. They're showing us all this, and they're sitting back right now tonight, like cheersing again, like, look, all these idiots. Every night, they're like, look at these idiots. They're so stupid, they deserve to die. That's what they're saying. They deserve it because they're so stupid. Look at this. We're telling them who's doing what and everything else, and they still do nothing. Well, press them more. That's what they keep doing. Give them some more. Okay? So they're going to keep doing this more and more and more. They're going to keep pushing this. And until they see when the people buck back. And I don't know when that's going to be honest with you. I really don't. To me, the only time that I'm seeing people buck back is when society is broke down. Take away the cell phones, shut the lights out, keep them out for a few weeks, make things hard on some people. Then something might happen, but it's going to be all unorganized because nobody cared when it counted. It's all going to be fractured. You're not going to stand much of a chance when you've got drones overhead watching your every single move and you're sitting in the dark down here with no plan. Even people listening tonight have no plan. Pretty crazy. The banking thing's one thing to get through. A lights out situation, a whole nother one. Two big opportunities, both of them are on deck. We have jihad being waged against us right now, unlike any other time in history. We just killed a religious leader, a huge one. All right, and you've got fatwa, whatever they call it, jihad, now waged against us big time. You don't think not one dude strapped with some stuff isn't going to do something? Not one out of the whole world of people that are fanatic like that? Give me a break. There's something big coming. You understand? Big coming. And to sit there and ignore it it's just the stupidest thing. I don't know what it is. I don't have a crystal ball, but we've got a pretty good idea of what they want. So, shootings, people getting ran over. I would really watch large events from here, crowded events. I keep thinking of the soccer matches. soccer matches. Rothschild telegraphed it. Remember, when it happens and it comes true, what am I going to do? Sit here and say again, oh, we were right again? I mean, what good does it do? Like, not enough people are getting the warning, man. And it's costing lives at this point. Now, as we enter this a war zone on the home front, censorship was something. It was something that I just dealt with before, but like we have to overcome it at this point. All right, that's why sharing is caring, and that's fighting the fight instead of sitting there doing nothing. Everybody's gonna have to answer for what they did on the other side. Whether you just sat there and watched, and there's not going to be no excuse for them doesn't care, or it's going to be how much an individual participated in this grand fight, the good fight. You understand? Sitting there doing nothing gets you nothing. Just like doing no good works in this life gets you nothing. I don't know, man. A lot of demons here. There's a lot of opportunity to do good. In the wake of it, I mean, helping others, man. It's all I know to do to get you out of here. I don't think you want to cycle back in here. Comer goes into overdrive on 7 more people connected to this stuff. And even with Comer, Thomas Massey, I don't care. I don't trust none of them. I trust no politician. Get all your hopes up. Get your pom-poms out again. Fall for it again. How many times are you going to do this? Before you realize it's one big club, as we've told you the whole time. Get your hopes up. It's garbage, man. They got a guy playing every position. If the guy was really a threat, they you know what they do to him. And these guys ain't under no threat. Guys showing up with no bodyguards, every day to work, this and that, under no. Get out of here. When you're a real threat, man, you get threatened. Like, you ain't rolling like that. You don't roll freely. Your life is really on the line. You be rolling around like Elon, like with security around you everywhere. Like it's the only way, or they're gonna get you. Even with all that security, they sometimes will get you. They could have you surrounded by security, and that security gets you. Reminds me of the whole Charlie Kirk thing here recently. Takes me back to the driver and the whole JFK thing. So, let's get into this. This is a very interesting one. One of the big stories I've got there in the title for tonight, here as we roll around top of the hour. Much love to everybody out there sliding in. Thanks for joining us. I want to tell everybody, make sure you're checking my channels daily. Not only on YouTube, but on X as well. Stop by both. I'm posting constantly. You've never seen anyone like me. You've never seen anyone that posts like I do, hammering down every freaking day. And censored the way that I am. I promise you that. Let's go over and look. I can show you the analytics like over on X. I don't know anyone else that's flatlined. I even see, like today, I saw a bunch of new people coming in. But like, it doesn't show me. My follower count don't go up. And like, it should go up and down, normal, active. Nope. Flatline. And I'm pissed. But what do? What can I do? It's the life of a truther. What do you do? Go create a new account? What? And what? Start posting what? You got to still post the truth, so the algorithm's still going to pick it up and throw you right back in the dungeon. So it's all a big waste of time. See, when you fight the fight, it's just the way that it is, man. So when you see Candace Owens and you see all these others in the feed all the time, when you're a real truther doing this for decades, and you see them getting pushed in the feed, it goes without saying. Like, their government pushed. I don't care if you like them, you like what they say, whatever. It comes down to you'll tell them about the fruits. A real truther that's in the trenches is getting censored. And you should know that. And they need all the help that they can get. They're not blasted and shared in the feed all day long, every day. Did you see? When you see that, you should automatically know they're a shill. That's the definition of a shill. Okay? That's the truth. Right? So a lot of people done gave up in this realm, truth to realm, because they can't hang. And a lot of people were in it for all the wrong reasons. Just like a ton of the cats on X are in it for all the wrong reasons over there. That's all. Half the cats over there are posting for us for money. It's ridiculous. It should be about the truth first. If you can make money, then fine, that's great. You got to stay righteous is the litmus test. That's again why I don't sell nothing or anything like that to represent in the show. To be that person because no one else will do it because no one else will. And yes, it's a huge loss to me because I should be representing the underground. I should have shirts. I should be promoting. It's stupid not to be honest. And I'm about to switch that all up. I said somebody reach out to me. And if you're out there listening, I'll be getting back to you on it. Well, the least I can do, I guess, is self promote. I have to when you're so censored at this point. What is a shirt, a bumper sticker, this or that? You know, I'm not going to be out here selling male vitality. That's for damn sure. But you guys can, again, you'll tell them by the fruits. You can see the guys that overdo it out there, the AJs. Much love to all the righteous folks. So let me dive into this story. It kind of reminds me of the guy that just got shot, the astrophysicist. Kind of mysterious, because he discovered water on another planet or something. And who knows what else he knew. And he gets assassinated by a guy that showed up months before with a weapon threatening his life. And they did nothing about it. So they ultimately got him. And we don't know why. You can only speculate at that point, right? So the FBI now say they joined the search for a missing retired Air Force general that led the U.S. military research lab that develops DEWs. Direct energy weapons and technology. DEWs, baby. The things that they put on display. And Cash Hart, thank you for the coffees, man. Just seen that pop up. Thank you so much. Much love. God bless. Can't thank you enough for all the support. Hope all's well. FBI joined the search for Major General William Neal McCaslin, who was reported missing in New Mexico. Is that where the other guy was shot? Was it Arizona? Was it New Mexico? He commanded the Phillips Research Site at Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico. He's been missing since Friday. He served for 3 years as the commander of the Phillips Research Site in New Mexico, and it is notable for its directed energy weapons. Okay, so they're testing a lot of the big dog stuff here. Advanced weapons, exotic weapons, potentially your UFO stuff, advanced, given to us by the fallen type of weaponry, all that. That right there is like huge. It's a huge. What does he know? Now they also just rolled out these mysterious lasers. That's all they're calling them, are lasers. They're not saying what kind or anything, but apparently a weapons grade laser was rolled out at the border, not once here recently, but twice in 2 different stories. Once to counter what they said was an incursion drone coming in from Mexico. At the same time, people have video of UFOs at the border, and I showed you this. Broad daylight. For people living under a rock. And then right behind it, NOTAM goes up. They shoot down one of our own drones. That's the excuse they gave. And they put up a NOTAM till like midsummer. What? A NOTAM till midsummer? Yeah, something's going down. We're being lied to. And it's going down in these areas, man. Much love, Uncommon News, all the work you've been doing down there. Shakes, thank you for the coffees. So much. Appreciate it to the fullest. Who's got this guy? The Chinese? Like who? Who does it benefit? That's where I start as an investigator. And I look at the enemy. Or like if he was talking in a way he shouldn't have been with classified information, you figure the government would just could easily charge him if it was them instead of offing him. You know? And having to cover it up and they could just arrest him, charge him if it was them, if they were wanting him for anything like that. If you're the enemy, this guy is a diamond in the rough. This is the kind of guy that can get into a system that has, this is the man that you would be looking for right here. He would know everything. He would know all the procedure of security of the compound. He would know all of everything. And he'd be coughing it up under torture at this point. And they'd cough it all up and they'd kill him. You'd never know what he said, if he said anything at all or what. But guarantee this man's talking. If this man is kidnapped, he is talking. Information is getting prodded out of this man. If they wanted to just kill him, they'd kill him like the astrophysicist. Just capped him dead. Send a shooter. Kill him. That's not what happened. This man's wanted for his knowledge has become very obvious. It's due weaponry. Right as we're at war with Iran. This is crazy. This is one to watch right here, man. They can have him. They can have him. Look, man. Our home front has now become part of this war zone. And this is a reality that people are like going to slowly, I guess, wake up to. We warned about it, but this is what's going down. I'm going to watch this closely. If you got any info on this, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com or on anything. But this is not something that happens every day. You do not see people getting kidnapped of this level. A lot of red flags, man. I mean, I just let it all out there. It's a big one. This was supposed to have been with the rest of the Epstein stuff. This was this guy, Russian magnate, who said that he was Maxwell's soulmate. He was found dead. And another suspected, you can see it on the screen. And this all went down just days after he was named in the Epstein files. So, bodies dropping, a lot of people stepping back out of their jobs and fleeing the country. No one going to jail here in America. Look at this. The House kills an effort to release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports. What? Like, dude, what is going on? Like, people are just ignoring these headlines because they don't want to face it. It's disgusting. Like, nobody wants to step up and do anything, anywhere. This place is smoked. The House kills an effort to release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports. Why would you want to keep that secret? Well, I think you know why. Bunch of dirt, bunch of dogs. They can't even do this. They can't even let this out. They don't want you to even see. This is ridiculous that we're sitting at this point, man. I got different clips here with Nancy Mason. I'm gonna play here in a second, so I'm gonna skip that. Let's jump into the war fronts around the world. And this is something that's not going away. If you guys haven't been, Brother Tooch, good to see you. So good to see you. So good to see you, Brother Tooch. Hope all is well. Much love, man. EC. Everybody out there, much love. Hold on. I'm sorry. All right. So, sorry when you get ran up on by a pack of coyotes or wolves or dog. I don't know what's out here, but they're making a bunch of ruckus. I'm sorry. It's what happens when you're out in the boonies, right? All right. Let's jump into. You could probably. I've got the window open a crack, so if you hear some things in the background, says a dog barking or something like that, they're all over. And when they come out, they come out. Normally, I have to go out there and pop off some shots and run them away, but there's some big ones. Like coyotes sound a certain way, but there's something out there that sounds more like a wolf. Who knows? All right, let's jump into U.S. military in Ecuador. So I'm going around the globe here looking like they made quick work of the Venezuela thing, right? They threatened everybody and they got out. Well, they haven't said much about anything else down there. And guess what? They're in Ecuador. Remember what I was talking about with Colombia and the other countries down there? It's like, watch them. Like they're gonna pop up here and there. Well, here they are. This says right here, March 3rd, Ecuadorian and U.S. military forces launched operations against designated terrorist organizations in Ecuador. And this is not even making the headlines anywhere. The operations are powerful, is what they're saying here. And it's showing the power of Ecuador and the U.S. and the Caribbean and Latin America together, making huge moves. So Southcom is making huge moves in Ecuador, and people are not even paying attention because so much is going on with Iran. And then, I mean, you've got other Afghanistan and Pakistan popping off war, right? You've got Russia and Ukraine. We'll dive into that too, some updates there. I mean, man, you've got world war popping off here, man. The only thing that you're missing by definition is nothing really. Because by definition, it doesn't say anywhere by definition there has to be nukes. It doesn't say that at all, anywhere. Okay? But I think most people just kind of have that in their mind. They've been ingrained with it. World War III is going to have nukes. It's not World War III without nukes. That's just how people are seeing it. Well, you better think twice. The damn thing may end with nukes. Just like World War II did. But if you were living all through World War II, like, oh, this ain't World War II, this ain't World War II, war everywhere, and you waited till the nukes dropped, well, then you would have went through the whole freaking war saying that, which is what I feel like right now. We're in World War. By all accounts. It's crazy. Even the home front, for the first time in your life in history, we are now in a war front. The home front. From the border around the Caribbean, you just wait. You just wait. more of these jihadi attacks start happening, more of these shootings, heads getting chopped off, kamikaze attacks. You watch, man. You watch. Things take time in planning. For all the people that are pissed off over Khomeini's death right now, that are truly like independent, pissed off people, things take time. So give it weeks and months. People are going to put things into motion. You watch. This summer's going to be a wild one. Speaking of the varmints, any word on Kushner's plane? All Kush just gets around, don't he? Mr. 666 Fifth Ave. On to the next spot here. This has to do with, this is Tim Walz getting called out. I'm going to play this clip because everyone's tearing into him. But I'm going to preface this by saying, again, this is garbage, and thank you, Vince. He should go to jail. If everything they're saying is true, he should go to jail. If everything they're saying is true, arrest him right there. Why does he get to walk out of the room then? If 4 or 5 people just mauled him, pinned him to the floor, like, I don't get it. Like, then this is all for nothing. It's what it is. Take him in front of a judge then. Like, I don't want to see this crap. Screw these depositions. Take him in front of a judge, because all you're showing me is this is a waste of time. Even with the Clintons, it's all a waste of time. You ain't gonna do nothing. Well, they came in, they gave a deposition, smacked the table, went off, had a shouting match, left. None of them gone to jail.
How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you do any preparation
I take
for this
Congress
hearing today?
seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready? How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me. As
Were you governor in 2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024 as governor, and you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024. What percent increase is that from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
Well, are you governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay,
not.
well,
I'm
when
not
I'm
a prop
governor of
for a
South
member of
Carolina,
Congress.
you can sure as hell bet that I'm going to know the math. The math is 34,200% increase, an increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as a top 3 state
Okay.
for children
What is
in
the
the last
total
year.
population in Minnesota?
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right now.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last
Okay,
week by
that's
the
not-
actions you made.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I am.
And you don't know
This
the
is
number of children.
ridiculous, man.
I
residing
don't
in
have the
Minnesota.
specific number. It's
I don't
5.7
think
million.
well, she keeps
That's your
saying-
total
What is your age?
population.
What is the age? Your 0 to 5? 0 to 19?
You have approximately 1.2 million children in Minnesota.
What
I'm not
age?
even governor of South Carolina. Our population in South Carolina is 5.5 million. We have approximately 1.1 million children under the age of 18 in my home state of South Carolina, okay? As governor, I expect you to know this information. Thank God you're not vice president of the United States. Do you know approximately how many?
This is more like high school. This is more like high school. This isn't like getting anything done. This is like sitting there arguing back and forth and like no one is going to jail.
Right, Jordan Conrad's from the Gateway Pundit here with Congressman Tim Burchett.
Or Burchett,
Representative
either way.
Burchett, what do you think so far of this hearing? Tim Walz, Keith Ellison, are you convinced?
No, man. Look, $19 billion. I was in the state legislature, and that was the budget for the whole state of Tennessee. $19 billion have been stolen. They're covering. They're not going to do a day in jail. Everybody's going to wring their hands and talk real tough. We need to get some guts and start arresting some of these people.
That's DOJ, right?
They need to
Pam
get off
Bondi
their
needs to
ass
step
and
it
do
up.
something. People are fed up. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat or whatever. You're stealing my dadgum money. I want it back, and I want your ass in jail.
All right.
Well, how are you going to get them in jail? I keep coming back to the same thing. We're not saying it. Here's another guy. I'm not even going to play the clip. It's a rep going off on Tim Walz. The same thing, going off. It's a whole nother clip of going off. And here is another one. Right? Why didn't you tell the truth? Jim Jordan tears into him. Okay, why didn't you tell the truth? Well, if you caught him in a lie, can't you arrest somebody?
Committee, Mr. Jordan from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor, why didn't you tell the truth? Why didn't you just tell the truth about the Feeding Our Future program? This program, my understanding, received $3 million the first year. Within a couple years was getting $200 million of taxpayer money. Whistleblowers raised concerns. As the chairman said, auditors raised concerns. Everybody raised concerns. March 30th, 2021, the payments are stopped. And a little over a month later, the payments are restarted. Why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments?
Well, Chairman, we did tell you. And Feeding Our Future grew because of the pandemic. And
I didn't ask that question. I said, why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments? The payments stopped because there were concerns, obviously. We wouldn't stop the payments. Then they're restarted a month later. What was the reason for restarting the payments?
my understanding was the agency believed that the court had required them to make those payments.
And that was false, wasn't it? You repeated
think
that.
that
You
is-
said that, didn't you? You
I
said that's
don't
why the
think-
reason you said the reason you restarted is because the court ordered you to do so. Is that right?
I don't believe that is settled yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I think it is, because the court did something that I don't know if I've ever seen it. They issued a statement saying you were wrong in what you were saying. This is from the court. It says, Feeding Our Future versus Minnesota Department of Education, correcting reports and statements by Governor Tim Walz concerning orders issued by the court. Here's what the judge says. Governor Tim Walz told the media that the Minnesota Department of Education attempted in payments to FOF because of possible fraud, but that Judge Guthman ordered payments to continue in April 2021. Next sentence. That is false. So you said something wasn't true. He further states this, Judge Guthman, the court says this, Judge Guthman never ordered the Department of Education to resume payments to Feeding Our Future in April 2021 or at any other time. So I want to know, why didn't you tell the truth?
Congressman, the attorneys at the Department of Education interpreted that differently. Both of those judges are no longer on the bench, and I think that
the
interpretation...
very first sentence, the first 7 words. This is not some unnamed source talking to the New York Times. This is not some anonymous source talking to whatever your Minnesota Star Tribune or whatever your paper is. This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized this following news release. That's pretty straightforward. So the court's lying?
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the interpretation was...
Somebody's lying, because you can't say the court ordered you to restart the payments, and then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying or the court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believed, that it was a misinterpretation. And I would note that those payments...
Could it be you were trying to hide behind the court, Governor? Could that maybe be the reason why you issued the statements you did and why the court had to do something you never see done before? They issue a press statement saying you're wrong. The governor is wrong. His statement is, their words, not mine, false. Could that be the reason?
That was not the interpretation of the attorneys. And you know, court work, you can appeal those, Congressman, as you well know. I'm sure
Is it all about politics, Governor?
No, it's about taking care of our people, which
Yeah, these
Minnesota does
programs
better
go
than
from
anyone
3
else.
million. The behavioral intervention program went from 3 million to 400 million in 5 years. The housing stabilization went from 2.6 million to 104 million. The integrated community supports went from 4.6 million to 170 million in 3 years. And this is unbelievable what's happening. And you're trying to hide behind some pretend court order, some court order that didn't exist. Governor, who's Casey Magan?
I don't know who Casey Magan is.
Well, I'll tell you. Mr. Magan is a Somali American and a fraud investigator in the guy beside you's office, in the Attorney General's office. And here's what he said. There was a perception that forcefully tackling this issue might cause political backlash among the Somali community, which is a core voting bloc. Did that have anything to do with this whole fraud scheme that went on in your state, Governor?
It did not, Congressman.
Did not. So you're saying Mr. Casey Magan is lying too?
I'm not.
You're the only one telling the truth in the whole state. Mr. Magan, who's a fraud investigator at the Attorney General's office, says it's politics. The court said
I couldn't speak for Mr. Magan. You asked me a question.
I know. I'm asking.
And I said no when you asked me the question.
I'm saying Casey Magan said just the opposite.
I don't know.
So the court's wrong and Casey Magan's wrong.
Wow. Look, I don't even know what to say. I've already said it how many times. He should go to jail. What's stopping him from going to jail? You have the court, a judge, saying that he is lying. I don't get it. Judges, you're right in front of Congress. What does it take to get a criminal arrested? What? Obviously, all of this means nothing. They have told us that they have committed fraud in the billions. And this is just the beginning. They're going to other cities, other states. It's going to get bad. You watch. And Trump is waging war against these places. He's cutting off funding, which is going to affect the people all in all. So if you're somebody that lives in the state of Minnesota, maybe on the down south side, far away from Minneapolis, you keep yourself, you keep out of this. Well, all this is going to affect you big time because your state now is going to get cut off from the government. That's what Trump's doing. Smells like a setup. Yep, it is. It's a freaking setup. So all the people of Minnesota now are going to suffer because they're getting cut off by the federal government. He flat out said it. And he said, oh, we're going to Illinois next. And then California. He goes, and we're going to find there's going to be way more there. So this was just like the beginning here. They plan to go tearing into all these other places. And you know as well as I do that when they tear into California, it's going to be like the mother lode of all this. But what are you going to do again? You've got to do dead to rights, guilty here on all this. And he's just sitting there deflecting and lying through his teeth. And that's all he's got to do. It's you wonder why they call it a circus. Nothing ever gets done. Again, at some point, people should be you should see two bailiffs, two sheriffs or somebody walk in from the sides and arrest him. As soon as someone says, arrest this man for contempt of court, for lying under oath, you never see it. It's ridiculous. So when you get into the whole Iran war thing, people going nuts, in the Congress here in the United States, but in many other countries as well, either for it or against it, obviously. This is an interesting setup where we're at here. So let me just zoom in to Iran specifically and what's happening there with the U.S. because this is big and it looks like it's going to be ongoing. It's not going to be over within the week. And a big question that has been out there since this whole thing popped off is, can we sustain doing whatever we are setting out to do? Here's the thing. When it comes to our missile capability and Iran, they've got a one-up on us because of one thing here. One thing. They have in their arsenal tons and tons and tons of these type of drones you see right here. The first generation normal drones that you have to take down out of the sky. You have to. If you don't, they hit apartment buildings, they hit whatever. I mean, they've hit everywhere with these. They took out the biggest defensive satellite that we have over there with just one of these. Just one. So if you don't, I mean, whether it's a hypersonic or just a first generation drone here, you've got to pop a shot off to take it down. So here's the thing. Iran can make these and has so many in its arsenal, literally, so many in its arsenal. It's never going to run out because it has, off to both sides, China and Russia feeding in other weaponry. And they could even be feeding in old weaponry right now. Russia could be offing a ton of their older first generation. Huh? What? Okay. All right. Well, I forgive you, Henry. That shock you. In the name of the Most High. You forgive, right? And you move on in life here. I'm just gonna keep it there, right here, at the moment. And get back to what I was saying about Zelensky in Iran here. You know, we've been feeding Ukraine with all these weapons, all these drones. And they said before we even started this Iran thing that we were low. You may recall, I reported on it several times, that we were low and that this was a problem even for Ukraine. Because if we're arming Ukraine and we're low on weapons, like somebody better come up with something. This is when Trump started saying we're backing out, pulling out, and then they're making the whole transition right now. Europe's supposed to be stepping in, replacing all the weaponry. This and that, right? Well, it was warned that this was going to happen. This is the situation in terms of us going tit for tat. So you've got just an onslaught coming from Iran, right? And we've got to take them down. If you missed the last stream, it showed Israel was using their beam. They were using their laser beam finally. What they said was their laser beam. And interesting that this guy goes missing related to direct energy weapons at the same time. Again, because that would be the weapon of choice if you want to take down any of these objects, a laser would. It's going to be what is going to be the fastest, most on point. The only problem with the laser is, as you know, if you miss whatever you're targeting, there has to be, well, in a war zone, there's going to be no TAMs anyway. But yeah, you can hit anything behind it. So you really got to shoot like straight up. Even then, you can hit satellites. You can hit anything with a laser. Like lasers are crazy in that sense. It kind of changes the game. Some of the laser weapons shoot out like bursts of laser, almost like bullets. and they're not like a solid beam. And that's what we saw from Israel here recently. But they can't stop hypersonics, and I'm wondering what's going to happen here. Look at this. Russia says a Ukrainian drone boat blew up a tanker in the Mediterranean. Look at this. The Ukraine wars moved to the Mediterranean full blown. Tankers are getting blown up. Like I said, World War, it really seems like that's where it's at. Look what they're saying here. What are the odds? What are the odds that Putin mediates the end of war in Iran? Saying that very good possibility. He's been there with Trump, throughout a bunch of the stuff with Ukraine, kind of like hand in hand, and saying that as soon as the U.S. is out of the war in Ukraine, there's going to be big deals on the table between Russia and the U.S., which is going to be interesting to see how that all unfolds. But that whole war has got to come to an end. Or not. Look, some people believe in causing as much chaos. Listen, some people believe in causing as much chaos right now as possible. Why? Because this ushers in the end. This ushers in what they believe to be the end times. As you'll see right here. I put out a video on this. U.S. military brass told troops to get ready in this war, because this war is basically the Battle of Armageddon. Now, let me tell you, it can't be the Battle of Armageddon unless troops mount up in Mount Megiddo. It has to match the prophecy of where this even comes from. Okay? And that does involve Israel. But it also involves certain actions and troop movement and mounting up in a certain area. It says it specifically. So in Mount Megiddo is a specific name. So, when you hear of prophetic times and end times here, this all goes with Armageddon and everything. You've got different things happening here that you're going to have to watch out for with the end times. I'm going to wrap it up with this thought here. You've got, obviously, Christians out there expecting and waiting on the return of Jesus, the Messiah, the King of Kings, right? I believe that they will try to turn the world against the Most High. Okay? They're not going to roll out a red carpet for him. It's going to be destruction. As it's written, he's coming to bring their destruction. So they're going to fool the whole world and try to say that that's the enemy. Whenever they say that's the enemy, that's when they feel the Most High's coming, in my book. The fallen, they've got to tell you are peaceful, or you will never accept them. And you will never give up your weapons. If not, remember what I said before. If the fallen are talked about, Trump comes out and says, these people are here. There's a different life form here. But we are the problem. And that we got to give up our weapons if we want to get along with the rest of the universe and all these civilizations. If they play that card, that's more advantageous to them. Okay? Then their Messiah steps onto the scene. He steps onto the scene in the flesh here. And you see, you've got, when it comes to the Jewish peoples, they've already did the heifer. Okay? They're right on the cusp of a third temple. But like, you've got the Temple Mount sitting there. Hypersonics and bombs are flying right now. The odds of that spot getting wiped clean are higher than ever. And as soon as it does, the moment it does, you can almost guarantee they will begin building that third temple. They want their chosen one to sit in that temple. Okay? Do you see where we sit here with this whole thing? They needed to sacrifice the red heifer because the red heifer gives you purification ashes. The ashes are used in the purification. You can't build the temple without it. That's why it had to be done. And remember, this has already happened. They lied to us. They said that they were doing a mock ceremony. Okay, but then they did the real one. Then they came out afterwards. This is on video if you missed it. They told the whole world, we lied to you. We didn't want a bunch of attention on us. We did the real deal. They said this. I showed the videos and everything. So they've got the ashes and they're ready. And then I showed you video of them running up on Temple Mount, young kids and everyone else. And they were doing their magic spells up on it. They're getting it ready. So it's like at any moment when this destruction happens and hits it, they're going to work to build this. Now, when it comes to the Muslim belief, okay, there are individuals that believe that if you bring about enough chaos in the world, they will usher in the Mahdi. Do you see? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with others, that if they create a certain events in their belief, they're going to usher in biblical type of stuff here. This gets wild. You always knew when it got down to Iran that it was going to come to this. Look at all the ancient history that's also hidden there in Iran. Wow. The Persian Empire, all that. It's very interesting to see that these statements were made to our military to get ready for Armageddon, basically, because some people took offense to this and some people got mad and they went to higher ups, and that's what caused the big stir out of this. Complaints came from more than 40 different units across 30 different military installations. So when they were told, this is it, this is like Armageddon and all that, like people are like, hold up, like I ain't ready for the end of the world. Like I ain't ready for this and that. And people from other faiths were like, hold on, like what, like, so this is where we sit. Like they're telling people out there this is what's in the air. This hasn't been done before. They've never done this before. I've never reported on this happening before. Okay? Like this. Nothing like this. We've never been at this point. We've never been where America can get hit hard at any moment. Lights out tomorrow morning. And you all know that when it happens, well, everyone will be like, well, what can you say? Like, I spent hours here multiple times a week telling you about all these war fronts and how it affects us now. And now we don't only got to worry about cartels, we got to worry about jihad together. Two different things mixed, attacking us, America. That's the biggest thing I see here is the blowback. Head on a swivel. So I could say, may the Most High in heaven bless all of you that reach up to him and realize when especially when you realize that this life is short and that it's all about the deeds you do here. You can do devilish deeds, but you'll never make it out of here. You can have all the money in the world. It's not going to get you out of here. Obviously, there's a key, a secret out of here. And, Jesus says, follow me. And I tried to unlock and show you all these ways. Yeshua embedded this hidden over and over and over again. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Those that seek it, they'll find. I wish you all luck, man. We're in crazy times. I'm not a believer, and you can sit around sinning all day long, and someone's just going to forgive you of the constant sin. I don't personally believe that. Yeah, I believe, in Jesus and Yeshua, and He's the Savior, and all this other stuff. But I don't believe, and I don't believe in people. That's like people that sin all week and go to church on Sunday and try to make themselves look good, but then go right back into the office and they're pricks to all their Jesus loving people. I'm not. I've been around the block 20 million times. I'm like, you tell them by the fruits. It says it right there. And yeah, just remember that. You tell them by the fruits. I'm just looking for good people from here on out, and people that are going to do good deeds. It's all it's about at this point is just connecting with the good souls, I guess, before checkout time. Because I showed up here to do whatever it takes against the beast, but apparently what I was super ready for isn't in the cards, or the people aren't ready because the people aren't doing nothing, which means it's everyone for themselves, right? So if it's going to be like that, like I said, I wish you luck, and you better get right with the Most High. We all going to have to cross that barrier here at some point. Checkout time. It's a reality. Wouldn't hide from it. Wouldn't ignore it. And I feel it's my job here when I do this to give you the best information possible, not only in news, but in life, and like just getting out of this place where all this evil exists constantly. I don't know, man. I think we're about to hit another level. I really feel it any time. And I love you too, Ava. Much love to everybody out there. I really feel this is like the doorstep of tribulation, of very trying times. Just be ready for it, man. If lights go out, the grid goes down, a real deal deadly virus gets let loose, or anything here in the near term, just watch it. And then watch big events, man. Soccer events, especially, because they've telegraphed it, or any big stadium events, any large gatherings, head on a swivel, and just, you have to be aware of your surroundings at this point. If you roll up into a city or to an area and you see like Fed cars parked in certain areas and like dudes on rooftops peeking over the top, like something's going down. Seen it too many times. Anyhow, I thank you guys for joining me here once again for another one. I played some of the new music on the last stream. If you guys stuck around, you heard it. Those that hang around to the end get those little tidbits. As soon as I got done, though, AI picked it up, and I had to go through it. I removed it. It got removed. Because you got to go through this whole process of licensing with all this certain beats and all this. That's why it's always good when Live One makes our beats, because they're all in-house. But if I purchase a license for a beat, even though I got the license, it's always hell over on YouTube, because the algorithm and AI picks it up, and you got to go through this whole process. And before I can even get the video processed, I've got a copyright thing on there for the song, my own music that I just played. It's a huge problem with the whole thing. But yeah, that happened last time. That's why the song came down. If you watch the stream later and it was blank at the end, that's why. But some of the music here I can play, obviously. And I'm gonna play some Shameless here. Take us out of here on Crown Jewel's newest one. I'm working on one of the best ones I've ever done. I guess you always feel that way when you're making music, with this one, when you hear it, I think, and you feel it, you'll understand why I say that. And maybe the last one. You never know when your last day is gonna be. So much love, Joe.
Yeah,
good to
bro,
see
what
you.
up? Yes, that's what you're on, bro. I'm just at Francine Boutique working on Gorilla Rags for Loon, bro.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about when we gave
all the mods. Thank you everyone for sharing the stream.
Yeah, I remember.
All the love.
Check this, bro. Shameless. This is for the mainstream cause. Shameless. With you like a mainstream horse. Shameless. Hush hush behind closed doors. Shameless. Taking intellectual force.
Shameless. Your industry's on a crash course. Shameless. Full of pedos and crack whores. Shameless. Like license fees they ask for. Shameless. Don't pay, they'll send their task force.
The whole industry is shameless with the rough screen antics. That's why I'm so active.
Thank you all for all the love, all the super chats, all the shares. I can't think of shit.
Shameless, yeah, they all shameless
Cash
for
on.
sure. We're white
Raw.
greedy rights, I think we owned it
All the sub
So we
mods.
showing you all how easy it all connects. The rules are straightforward, it's not too complex.
It's been hidden in plain sight, but we knew from 04, yo, that somebody plagiarized our workload and formed the company upon the back of our workflow. But we got the metadata that predates the first show.
Letting you know about these shameless acts. Come from
Much
all
love,
standing
Tooch.
up, piled up to the max. It was all our idea, I know so now graft. We polished it up, but it got repackaged real fast.
But not that. And yeah, we've always known it. Our work got jacked, what a team of cronies. We've been sat back waiting and now's the moment to wear the truth out and then Daddy's Soman. We wrote it in 02 and handed it over, but somehow creative rights never got to the owners. Shameless moves from these one-trick ponies. Industry whores are just shameless phonies.
Shameless, this is for the mainstream cops. Shameless, whip you like a mainstream horse. Shameless, hush hush behind closed doors. Shameless, taking intellectual thoughts.
Shameless, your industry's on a crash course. Shameless, full of pedos and crack whores. Shameless, like license fees they ask for. Shameless, don't pay, don't send a task force.
Now we're laying that truth down, shameless, and you know it. So we calling it out like the last true poet. A subject access might discover the owners. As the Valley Estate set the scene for these moments.
Broly changed the spot, the characters and title. Cause our opening scene was kids burning motorcycles. So I'll break the cycle when I come to find you with a gang of AI lawyers and deranged disciples.
Straight up, pick up, relabeled, and come quick. No pennies for our thoughts, test some serious bullshit.
No shit.
Literally, replace the motive. No life in hellbound, lo and behold.
Shit's been bestowed on us to take our throne and honors for our creative intellect. We will listen
Thank
to
you,
offers.
SB.
Disgrace writers and the ropes of office. Our creative coffers was placed inside their
They
pockets.
say what you don't know won't hurt. That's not how the game works. They took the piss and the purse. We ain't shutting up till we fully immerse. Jacked by these shirts for our words and our worth. And yo, there's nothing worse. Shit will drive you berserk. So I'm getting it up my chest before they beat the earth. Release the dirt. I hope payback's a bitch. Shameless movers, so I guess the name fits. Shameless. This is for the mainstream cause. Shameless. Whip you like a mainstream horse. Shameless. Hush hush behind closed doors. Shameless. Taking intellectual thoughts. Shameless. Your industry's on a crash course. Shameless. Full of pedos and crack whores. Shameless. Like license fees they ask for. Shameless. Don't pay, they'll send a task force. Rest in peace, I'm bliss and free to the breeder. It's been in them for 20 odd years from the script we wrote. We gave Tony Warren and Caroline Reynolds. Now I'm not saying that they used it, but it's one hell of a coincidence, yeah?
Much love, y'all.
And they both wrote saying that they loved it, all scallied up.